And the gates are open, but the office is closed at a cemetery at the center of controversy. Good evening, I'm Natalie Tejeda.
And I'm Trent Butler. Welcome in tonight as people gear up for a second town hall meeting. Now we're learning more about what has been going on behind the scenes at George Washington Carver Memorial Garden. CBS 42's Mike McClanahan continues his search for answers. And Mike, you have some new insight into what was happening before the cemetery filed for bankruptcy, and also, really most importantly, what this means for worried families.
Well, Trent, the list of creditors on the bankruptcy filing doesn't include the names or addresses of people who prepaid for burial plots, but we're told attorneys are working to track those records down. Now, we spoke to one lawyer who says his clients have proof they bought plots, but may still have to prove they're entitled to them.
Attorney James Stewart says the certificates of ownership that some prepaid plot purchasers already have are not the same as deeds. And that's an important difference. Here's why.
They're not deeds, they're not recorded in the courthouse to put the public on notice that you purchased this plot. Most of those records are retained internally.
As for people who claim they bought grave markers and never received them, he says this.
There's probably a little hope for them ever getting markers.
Stewart offers this advice for stakeholders now that bankruptcy has been filed in federal court.
The main thing is to make sure they do not miss the deadline to file a claim.
We also contacted the bankruptcy attorney for the cemetery, Fred Garfield, to ask about the process for compiling prepaid plot owner records and whether the missing items listed on court documents could have been computers that could have those records. In an email response, Garfield says this on the topic of records, quote, Mike, we hope to gain detailed information from company records regarding prepaid plot owners in the next few days and would intend to amend Chapter 7 filing to add pertinent names and addresses and other relevant information for notice purposes at some point thereafter. As for missing computers, the information kept on those is yet to be identified, but may include plot records after May 2007.
A creditors meeting in the bankruptcy case is set for November 4th in federal court in Birmingham. Now, Stewart says the proof of claims deadline is February 3rd of 2014.
Mike, another question on people's minds is why the cemetery filed bankruptcy and why it filed when it did. Can you shed any light on those questions?
Well, Trent, I talked to an attorney who filed a lawsuit against the cemetery before it filed for bankruptcy. Tyler Vale says his clients claim their mother's grave was moved without their knowledge, and the family only discovered she had been moved on Mother's Day of all days. Vale says the cemetery filed bankruptcy mere days before a deadline related to that lawsuit. The cemetery's bankruptcy attorney wouldn't comment on that case or the timing. Back to you.
Hey, Mike, thanks so much. He's been on top of this story from the very beginning, and earlier this month, hundreds of people did attend a town hall meeting about the cemetery.
Now, another meeting will be held tomorrow night. It will be in the gym of the Jackson Olin High School in Ensley at 6 o'clock. We're told a representative from the governor's office will be there. We're also told that there will be no extracurricular activities going on, so parking will not be an issue like it was at the last meeting. And from the rumored closing, the bankruptcy filing, CBS 42, we have been closely following the developments surrounding the George Washington Carver Memorial Gardens. We've posted all of our reports on our website at cbs42.com.